Okay. Hi guys. Good morning. So today we are going to discuss about dot programming. Okay. So basically, when we are going to start Flutter mobile app development. Okay. We are going to start Flutter mobile app development. We need uh, we need dot programming. We need dot programming. So dot programming is very important when you're learning Flutter app development. Why? Because in Flutter app we are going to use this dot programming. We are going to use this dot programming. Okay, fine. So we in this dot programming we are going to learn some more concepts like uh, introduction to dot. Okay. After that, how to write a hello world program, how to write a hello world program, and what are the different variables we have, what are the different comments we have. Okay. And data types, data types we are going to learn, and control statements we are going to learn. Okay. And looping statements we are going to learn. Looping statements we are going to learn. And what we can say like exception handling we are going to learn. Exception handling we are going to learn. Oops concepts. Okay. Oops concepts. After that, arrays, right? It's kind of list, map, set, all the things we are going to learn here. So most probably all these concepts we are going to learn in next 5 days, guys. Okay. In next 5 days, we are going to learn all these concepts. Now, so first of all, we have to understand the dot programming introduction. And here we have one question where I'm going to what you can say where I'm going to write the program. Okay, where I'm going to practice. Okay, so for that we are going to use a separate IDE for this dot programming. That is VS Code. VS Code. So VS Code, Visual Studio Code. It's the highly recommended one for doing the dot programming. Okay, so we'll focus on this, then we come back to the introduction part. Okay, now see, now uh, when I'm going to use dot programming, when I'm planning to practice dot programming. Okay, so we are going to use VS Code. VS Code. So VS Code is the one IDE where we can able to develop the applications. Okay. So by using this also we can do the Flutter. But yesterday also I told you, right? So that is not that much comfort for developing the Flutter app. But for dot programming, if you want to practice dot programming, so Visual Studio Code is the highly recommended one. And if you want to practice dot programming online, we have one more tool called Dotpad. Okay, Dotpad is one more online tool where you can practice the programs in online itself. See, here is that, but it will take some lag based on your internet speed kind of thing. So you have to write the program. You have to write the program over here. Once you write the program and click on the run option, now you can able to see the output over here, right? So like that type of stuff we can able to check on here. Okay, so Dotpad is the online tool where I'm going to execute the programs online. But I would not to suggest to go with these things. Okay, there are some plenty of there are some. See, if you write any error, see, if I'm going to write like this, okay, so we can't see the error. What the error I did over there, right? But to overcome this problem, okay. So what we should do here is I strongly recommended to go with the VS Code. So VS Code is one IDE where I'm going to practice my this thing. Okay, just click on this one. This is the official website. Okay, if you are using Windows, you can download this thing. If you are using Mac, you can download this thing. If you're whatever it is, okay, fine. So once you download and install this VS Code, now your VS Code is going to be appear like this. So just I already installed VS Code in my laptop. So just I'm using Visual Studio Code. Now it is going to be displayed like this. Okay. So if you want to start any kind of program, okay. So this is somewhat different. What we should do here is, first of all, we have to create one folder. So go to the file, okay. So you can use option called open folder, or what we should do, let's take an example. So let me go to here. I already do these things here, okay. So just what you should do is come to your desktop, okay. In your system, you have to create one folder. You have to create a folder in anything, anywhere. So let me go and create one new folder. So I already created one folder called dot programming here. Let me delete it off. Okay. Now I am creating a new folder with a name called dot programming. Okay. So this is a folder where I'm going to create. In this folder only, I want to store all the files. In this folder only, I want to store all the files. So what we should do, simple. So go to this folder. You go to your desktop and create one folder name called dot programming, or whatever the name you want. You can go with that name, and come back to the Visual Studio. Come back to the Visual Studio and see here. See, now you can see, refresh it off. 1 second. Okay. So now go to here, open folder. Okay. Wherever you see now, just click on that and click on open. Now you can see the dot programming is there, right? So here you have to create all your files. Like if let's take an example, you have to work on hello world. Okay. Just go to here or right click here. Okay, it is not going to show there. Just there is an option here. See, there is a file, right? Just click on the new file and write the program, but write the file name. But make sure that whatever the file you are creating, the file has an extension called like this. See, I am creating one file name called sample. If I want to work with dot, then you have use extension called DART. Dot. Automatically it is going to show over here. But in your system, when you are going to install freshly this VS Code, you need to add the plugin. Which plugin you want to add? Dot plugin. You have to add dot plugin to the VS Code. Then only you can able to see this type of files kind of thing. Okay. So how to do that? Okay. So just go to the, here we can see the this thing, right? What we can say extensions here, right? Just click on these extensions. In these extensions, use dot. Just type dot over there. Just type dot. So in my machine, I already installed dot, right? That's why it is not showing anything. But in your system, when you're typing dot here, it is showing you for option called install. Just you have to click on install button. Okay. Once you click on install, then only you can able to go, you go and create one folder in desktop, open the folder here and do the things and all. Don't do directly. Okay, we go to the extension, and type dot. You can see the dot here. So in dot, it is showing, in my case, it's already installed, right? So, but for you, in your case, it's not installed, no? Just click on the install button and install the dot programming and restart this one. Once you restart it, it is going to be activated, this dot plugin to your VS Code. Once dot plugin is installed in your VS Code, then you can start programming on dot. As of now, anyone having any queries here? Anyone having any queries? Okay. So now, now what I should do, this is done. Now let's go back to here. Now you have to understand the introduction for dot programming. See, basically, if you observe here, dot programming, see, dot is a programming language designed by Lars Beck and Casper Learn and developed by Google. So mainly when you're talking about dot, mainly we are focusing on dot is developed by Google, and it can be used to develop not only mobile apps, we can develop web also. Okay, by using dot programming, not only to develop the mobile apps, we can able to develop what web also, and also server and desktop applications as well. Desktop and server applications as well. Dot is an object-oriented programming language. There, where we can use classes, where we can use encapsulation, polymorphism, right? So all the OOPS concepts you are going to learn in dot programming. Okay, and the syntax of this dot program will be like C language syntax. What is that? C style syntax we have. That means who are good at C programming. Okay. So for them, this dot is very, very easy. Okay. So basically when you are learning any programming, not only dot, when you're planning to learn Java or Python or .NET or PHP or any programming, the base is what? C. The base is what? C. C is a basic programming language we have to learn must and should. Based on that C programming only, the remaining all programming language is going to start. Likewise, if you want to learn dot, okay. So this dot is purely based on C syntax, right? That's the reason I strongly recommend to go with the dot programming. I mean, C programming kind of thing, right? Like that. So now in this dot programming, okay, in this dot programming, we are going to learn all these concepts in the next coming 5 days from today onwards. From the next coming 5 days, we are going to focus all these concepts. Okay, so like introduction to dot. Okay, hello world, right? How to do the variables, comments, data types, control statements, looping statements, exception handling, oops concepts, arrays, list, map, set, right? All the things we are going to learn here. Okay. And once we complete this thing, then we can jump on to the Flutter mobile app development, right? And so in C programming, in C programming, if you start any program, we have one basic syntax. What is syntax? Void main, void main, like this, right? That means void is one kind of return type. Main is a function name. Main is a function name, and this is the starting execution block of statement, and this is the ending execution block of statement, right? So here only you have to write where whatever you want to execute inside this block only you have to write. And whatever you are writing inside this block, okay, we are going to call those things as statements. Even if you write any single line, forget, that may be variable declaration, that may be anything, logically we are going to call those things as what we are going to call as statements, right? And you have a question, why I have to write a function name only with main, only with main? Can I write any name? Can I write my name like Mani? Can I write the name like Sandeep? Can I write name like Sai? Can I write name like Amar? No, no, you can't write like this. Why? Because so dot programming, dot one more thing, as I said, make it's like this, okay? Dot programming uses one one compiler, that is JIT. What is a JIT? Just in time compiler. What is that? Just in time compiler. So this compiler can understand the program what you are write inside the main. This compiler, if you write a main function name, this compiler can understand that, okay, this is a main function where I'm going to execute my program. Okay, so this JIT compiler, just-in-time compiler, is already available in .sdk. .sdk. What is SDK? SDK is nothing but software development kit. Software development kit. If you talk about any programming, it may be Java. For that Java, there are some separate kind of Java SDK are there. For Android, Android SDK are there. For iOS, iOS SDK are there. For Flutter, there have Flutter SDK are there. Likewise, Dot is also having their own SDK, that is Dot SDK, that contains this compiler. You guys aware, no? When you guys started working on Java having a compiler called JVM. So JVM is a compiler where we are going to where this JVM is going to execute the Java code. Likewise, JIT, just-in-time compiler, is going to execute the dot. Okay, now you can see here. Let's go to the what we can say type JIT. What is that? Type JIT in dot. Okay, see, dot utilizes a JIT compiler to translate its human readable source code into machine code that can be directly executed by the CPU. Okay, if you observe, same, JVM also doing same thing. JVM is also doing same thing. Whatever the program we are writing, that program is purely as a human readable format. That means whatever the program we wrote, the remaining developers can understand that. Remaining developers means we are humans, right? So that means whatever the code we wrote, that is human readable format, right? Human readable source code. That human readable source code, we have to convert that one into machine code. Okay, machine code that can directly execute by the CPU itself. Okay, what machine code? That different. Okay, so if you write any program in dot, that dot is going to execute by the CPU by using JIT compiler. What is JIT? Just in time compiler. In interview, this is a very, very important question. Make sure the point, okay? And so you understand, right? So this is what we are doing basically things. Now let's go back to the VS Code. In VS Code, okay, let's go to the these things here. So here I created one folder called dot programming. Okay, in this dot programming, I created one file name called sample dot dot. And one more thing, dot is purely case sensitive. Dot programming is purely case sensitive. That means where you have to use capital letters, where you have to use small letters. So make sure that, okay? Now, I want to write a program in dot. For that, you have to use void main. Void main like this. You can use open and close parentheses and open and close brackets. So this is the way you can write the dot programming. Now you can see this void is showing in a blue color and this main is showing in a red color. Okay. That means if you run any program in dot without main, you can't. Without main, you can't. And one more thing, when I write main method, automatically you can able to see two options over here, run and debug. Run and debug. Okay, now let's see. Instead of main, I'm going to write one more method name called perform add operation. Perform add operation. When I write this method name, now you can't see the run option and debug option. Now you can't see the run option and debug option. Now if you see the run and if you click here also see, if you click on run and debug, now you can click on this run and debug. Now there is no code for run and debug the code, right? Because this is a behaving like a normal method or normal function. What is that? Normal function. So if you want to execute your dot function dot program, must ensure you have to use what method? Main method. And that too, if you write capital M, okay, it is not going to consider as a main method. Must ensure you have to use only lowercase. Then only you can able to see this thing, right? Now, inside this block, you have to write any kind of statements that is going to be executed. Okay, that is going to be executed. Now let's see. I want to print one statement. Okay, like this. So if you want to display anything on console, you have to use a statement called print. And in the print, you can use like this. And one more thing, guys, any dot programming, okay, if you write any kind of statements, must ensure the statement is going to end with semicolon. Okay, make sure that any statement we are going to write inside the method or inside any kind of block, you have to end with the semicolon. Okay, now, so you have to write the whatever you want. Let's take an example. I can write like this. Hello guys, welcome to dot programming sessions in knowledge ehub. Welcome, hello guys, welcome to dot programming sessions in knowledge hub. So I want to execute this thing. Where I want to execute? In console. Okay. So for that, what we should do? Simple. You have an option called directly, you can click on run option here, or you can use this run option here. I will show you both things. So if I click on run, now my program is running. Now if you can see the there is 1 second, guys. One second. Now you can see. So when you install the program, now you can see the output here. In the debug console, you can see the output here. Hello guys, welcome dot programming session in knowledge hub. Right? So like this. Okay. And one more thing is, if you want to perform anything inside the main, everything you can able to check here. Okay, let's take an example. I want to add two numbers. Directly you can use 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3. What is the output, guys? 5, right? If I use print function by using this 2 plus 3, if I click on the run option, now you can see the output called what? 5. What is that? 5 output. Okay. That means print is a function where we can display the output on the debug console. Okay. And if you want to display your name like this, I am Manikanta. If I execute this one, it is showing you what? I am Manikanta. Now, if I remove like this, okay, we are getting some errors. Why? Because if you write anything as a characters, if you want to display anything as a characters on the console, make sure that that will be in double quotes. In any programming, in any program, if you define anything as double quotes like this, if you define anything inside double quotes, we are going to call this one as string. This one as what? String. String is nothing but grouping of characters. Grouping of characters. Okay, like I am Manikanta. I is one character, A is another character, M is another character, like that. I'm grouping all my characters into a single value, that is what we are going to call as string. Okay, so this thing is we are going to call as a data type. We're going to call as what? Data type. And so if you want to define any variables, like say, like example, I want to assign some variables, like if you want to assign the name for that in Java or any in C or C plus plus or whatever it is, we use string. Okay, name equal to, you have to define this thing, Manikanta. Now you can end with the semicolon. That means here, let me copy this. Here, string we are going to call as data type. Okay, and here name we can represent variable name and Manikanta, right? So this we can represent as variable value. Okay, so string name equal to so and so. String is a data type, name is a variable name, and whatever the value you are assigning to this variable name, no, that we are going to call as a variable value. Not only this, and see, now I want to perform age. Age equal to, I'll go with 35. So age is a number type. What is that? Age is a number type. If you define any number in any programming language, you have to use a data type called int. What is that? Int. Int age equal to 35. And this int is this int variable, the data type is going to accept both positive value as well as negative value. I can give minus 35. Yes, it is going to accept. Understood, right? So int is a data type where I am going to assign the numerical numbers. Okay, integer numbers that may be positive value and negative value. And I want to define my height. Okay, my height will be 5.5. If you want to define any kind of floating values, like pointing values, at that time you can use double height equal to so and so. Okay, and so if you want to use like boolean, like we can call it as like what we can say so what we can say you have something, right, like true or false, right? True or false kind of thing, right? If you want to use this type of thing, we can use a keyword called bool keyword. Bool, the variable name equal to, you can use true or false over there, right? Like this, we are going to work on the data types. Okay. In dot programming, we have some data types over there. Data types in dot. Okay. See, number. Data type is number. In this number, you can use integer, int, not integer, int. Okay. Double, num and big int. So see, numbers in dot are used to represent the numeric literals. That may be positive value, negative value, floating number, point values, all the things you are going to call as a data type as for number. And next one is string. String represents the, I told you right, grouping of a characters. Grouping of a characters. And there is one more keyword called what? Bool keyword. Bool is a data, Boolean is a data type. Bool is a keyword. It represents the true or false. List. It is an ordered group of objects that we discuss later. That we can discuss later. Now in the dot program, if you open here, see numbers. Guys, see, this is very important, guys. Okay, numbers are there, in string are there, boolean are there, records, list, set, map, rules, symbols, all the things. But this records, list, sets we can discuss later. But primarily we focus on integer, double, string, boolean, mainly these four. Okay, now how I'm going to present these variables in my programming. Okay, now let's go back to here. So I define my name and I want to define my age. Int age equal to 35 and double height equal to 5.5. What is that? Height 5.5 and bool something like anyone having any idea, ma? If I say one thing as a what can you guide, can you suggest me for this?
True or false?
No, true or false, fine. But
Why?
what type of variable name you have to assign that?
Okay.
Um,
Flag.
no, not flag. I'm thinking. See, name, right? Name represents your name. Age represents your
Correct.
age. Height represents
Yeah.
right. Like that, we have to present one name where we can able to see like that.
Okay.
We
Like
can use
whether the flag is
are
set or not.
no.
Yeah.
Are you male?
Okay. Okay.
Are you male? In my
Oh.
case, I make it what? False. Right or not?
Mhm.
So, uh, sorry, true. Sorry, true. Okay. If suppose if you the females are using this program, they can assign what? False. Right? Like this. So that means what? String, I mean name, age, height, or male like this. For everything, we are using different type of data types. And I want to print all the things in print statement like this print. How we can display your name is, and I'm using plus symbol and display what name. So this type of string plus name, no, this is what we're going to call as a concatenation. What is that? What are you going to call? Concatenation. That means concatenation means string plus one more string. If you do like this, okay, that is what you're going to call as a string concatenation. Like that I'm using. And the same thing, uh, all the statements. Now you can see your ages and using here age. Now, okay, I'll tell you why it is showing like that. I'll tell you. Now, height. Your height is, here also you can use what? Height. Again, we are giving some error. And last one, your gender. Something. Or you male like this. But see, if you observe here, if you observe here, so when I'm trying to display like this by using concatenation, it is accepting only for string, but it is not accepting for numbers, height, all the things. So for that, what we have to use, I want to display the output as your age is, we have to display the age. For that, how we can display? For that, instead of concatenation, we have to use a concept called interpolation. What is that? Interpolation, like this. So here itself, directly I'm using name here. I'm removing it off like this. Here also same. Just cut it and use inside here itself. Just cut it and use inside here itself, and just cut it and inside here itself. Now, once you run the application, you can check the output, how the output will be. What is the output? Your name is name. Your age is age. Your height is height. Your gender is so and so. But I don't want to display as it is. In this name, I want to display Manikanta. In this age, I want to display 35. That means I want to read the value from this. For that, what we should do, you have to use string interpolation. So for string interpolation, you have to use dollar symbol. What is that? Dollar symbol. Dollar symbol indicates the string interpolation. And here also same thing, dollar symbol. Here also same thing, dollar symbol. And here also same thing, dollar symbol. Now you execute this. Now you can see your name is Manikanta. Your age is 35. That means this variable is going to take this value when you are using dollar symbol. Dollar symbol indicates what? Interpolation. What is that? Interpolation. Interpolation means I am assigning, I am taking the variable name. For that variable name, what value is assigning, right? That value I am going to store in this. Then I am displaying the output here, right? Like this. So this is how we are going to do that one. And guys, up to here, anyone having any queries?
One sec. This method is called as interpolation, and like if you use plus, it is a concatenation. Correct?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
But in dot programming, plus is not the correct way to use. Instead of plus, we have to use string interpolation, and this is highly recommended.
Okay.
In especially in dot programming, you have to use only string interpolation.
Okay.
Nowhere use concatenation.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Now here I have a question. I don't want to use the variable data types, each and every variable. I don't want to use this. If there is any way where I'm going to use common name for all data types, okay, yes. In dot programming, we have that. Instead of giving the proper data type over here, I want to use a common thing, that is where.
Okay.
Where. 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 Then we have one question, sir. How this where is going, in this case, how this where is going to taken as a string? In this case, how this where is going to taken as a variable, I mean number, like that. That means if you design, if you assign any value for this variable name, the based on the value type, based on the value type declaration, the var is going to consider as a string. The var is going to behave as a string. How this will know, right? By JIT compiler. JIT compiler will take care. We don't bother about that part. But make sure that this var is a commonly used keyword. Okay. Based on the value, it is going to be taken care. Now you can run the application and see the output. output will remain same. It never change over here. So this is also one of the good practice. So most of the developers will suggested that don't define the data types like in all the things. Blindly go on to what? Where. Automatically the compiler itself is taken care by that itself. We don't want to bother about that part. Right? Like that. And let's take an example. If I define where name equal to Manikanta, right? So that means the name will never change at all. The name will never change at all. So at that time, you have to use a keyword called val keyword. But in dot programming, val keyword is not supported. Val keyword is not supported. Instead of val keyword, you can use a keyword called const keyword. Normally in Flutter I'm talking about. See, come back to here. In Flutter, we have two different type of variables, var and val. If you define any variable as a var, that means you can able to change, you can able to update that variable at any time. Let's take an example. I define var age equal to 35. Every year this value is going to updated, right? It not be remain same, no, it is going to keep on updated, right? So this year my age 35, now next year 36, 37, 38. That means whatever the variable you are defining here, this variable is keep on updated based on the scenarios. In that case you have to define what? Var. And there is one more keyword called val. Name equal to, you have to define your name Manikanta. That means until from birth to death, okay, your name will be remains constant. Your name will never be changed. Okay. In that case, you can define the variable name as val. You can define the variable name as val. That means val is a keyword where you can use for constant. But in Flutter and dot, okay, uh, the val keyword is not going to be there. Instead of val, we can use a keyword called const. Const is a keyword where I'm going to represent, see, constant values. What's that? Constant values. Okay. This about the concept of this. So anyone having any queries here? See, val is no more. I'll show you that. But sir, then why from where it is there? Okay. Val we can use in Kotlin, not in dot, not in Flutter. See, I'll in front of you, I'll check the things here. So let's go to here. Val in Flutter. So anyway, we confirm that it is not there, but check that val is in Flutter. Now you can see. So if I use what we can say Stack Overflow, okay, see like this. If you go to the answers section, okay, so there is no way val is not there. They don't have proper answers also there. Okay, so we can use instead of val, we can use what keyword, ma? Const keyword. What is that? Const keyword. So clear, guys? Anyone having any queries? Guys, anyone having any queries?
No.
Okay. And in dot programming, we have two different kind of variables, guys. One is global variables, and next one is local variables. Local variables. So if you define any variable inside the method, if you define any variable inside the method, those variables you are going to call as a local variables. Let's see. We can, okay, let's go back to here. So let's go back to the here itself. So this is a main, right? So what I should do? I created some methods here, like I create a void perform add. So here I'm using some variables like where a equal to 10, okay, where b equal to 20, and where c equal to a plus b, okay, and print what is that? The value of c is, and use interpolation, okay. And so this where a and b is there, no, these are the two variables, right? We define these two variables inside the method, so we can call this one as what? Local variables. What is that? Local variables. And if I execute the same thing, if you want to execute this method inside main, what we should do? You can call the method perform add like this. Now, if you run the application and see the output, see the value of C is what? 30. Okay, like this. And this is what I am using these variables as what? Inside. That was local variable, right? I don't want to use this thing. If I want to use globally, then you can define these two variables. Just click on X. Okay. Now you can define those variables directly in the main itself. Okay. Now you can pass this a and b here. Okay, you can pass this value a and value b here, and you can use add a parameter in here like int a comma int b. So now if you execute, so this is what we're going to call as what? Global variables. Okay, global variable. We'll discuss in detail. Okay, so in the coming classes as well, so that you can get clarity on that part. Okay, and this type of implementation we are going to call as a method passing arguments. We'll discuss, right? Because we are in very basic level, right? We have to understand each and everything in detail. Okay, now you understand, right? What is this and all, right? Now,
Yes.
now there is one more important concept, that is comments. Okay, as a developer, when you start your career as a developer, so comments is very, very important for us. Comments is very, very important for us. We have we have two type of comments. We have two type of comments. One is single line comments, and next one is multi line comments. Single line comments and multi line comments. Single line comments means, first of all, you have to understand what is these comments. That means if you write any method or if you write any function, you have to define, you have to define verbally what that function do in programming. See, see. So here I'm using a method, right? I'm using one function, right? Here I'm using comments here. What I should do? Uh, perform add is a function to perform add operation. To perform add operation. That means if you define the method workflow in the comments, so that any developer can understand, by seeing the comments itself, they can understand what inside this function do. What inside this function do, right? So if you define any commands in any programming language, you have to use double slash. What is that? Double slash. And comments will not be executable. Comments will not be executable. This is not going to be executed. See, If I am going to write a program, if I run the application, no. If I run the application, the comments is not going to show here. Why? Because whatever the comments you are defining in your program, that is not going to be executable, and that is purely like to understand the program logic or whatever it is. Okay, like that. So there is one more thing. So multi-line comments are there. So multi-line comments is, so you can define like this. Okay, how we can define the multi-line comments means, see, slash, okay, like this. So if you do like this, okay, that means slash star star, okay, star star and with slash. Here you can write your comments like author. Who created this program? Manikanta created this program. When he created this program? On September 11th, 2024. Okay, time. When this program is created? 8:30 a.m. Description. What this program will do? What this program will do? Copy this description and paste it here. So if you define like this, a detailed description of this function, okay, who created this program, okay, when this program, when on what date this program will do, okay, uh, right, a time, description, and all the things you can able to do here like this. Okay, Amar, you're calling me?
No, no.
Okay, okay, fine. So these type of comments you're going to call as a multi-line comments, but make sure that as a developer, we have to be mainly focused on this point also, right? Like this. So these about that. This is single line comments. This is multi-line comments. Wherever you have a requirement, you can define like this. So any doubts here, guys? And tomorrow we are going to discuss about this control statements and looping statements, guys. Control statements and looping statements. Okay, that we discuss over there. And one more thing, guys. Whatever the class, okay, whatever the class I defined here, okay. So I'm going to upload these programs in what we can say like I'll share these programs in somewhere, okay, so that you guys also can able to see that, okay. I'll try to make it in GitHub, okay. Not today, but we'll do sometime. But all Flutter, when I start my Flutter, no, all Flutter programs is going to be uploaded in the Git. So I'll share you those links. You can go and download the for project files, and you can work on the part whatever you want, okay, like this. So this is about today's session, guys. We'll meet you on tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm planning to take the classes from 7 to 8:30, guys. From tomorrow, I'm planning to take the sessions from 7 to 8:30. Please plan accordingly. 7 to 8:30, okay?
Okay.
Fine. Thank you so much. We'll meet you on tomorrow, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.
Okay. Thank you.